Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Mike here once again, and if you're new to my channel, I actually have a 2007 Saturn Sky that I've been doing a bunch of modifications to and an occasional repair here and there as well. If you do like this channel, if you watch a video, you like the channel, please smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, and even hit that little bell underneath the subscribe button. That'll notify you of any new videos that I come out with. So if you are not new to the channel, you know I've been doing a bunch of mods and things, and today's actually not really a mod, it's more of a repair. And I'm sure it's one that a lot of you might have already done, or you might be thinking about doing yourselves, and that is the dreaded turn signal stalk that does not snap back once you make your turn. And this is the product right here. This is the turn signal stalk, and mine does that. Ever since I bought it, it does not snap back after I make the turn. And after a year and a half, it's really getting pretty annoying. So finally going to go ahead and do something about it. I'm going to install the new one that I got here on eBay, and unfortunately this is a different color. It's a little bit darker, a little bit more black than the stock one that I have in there. So I went and I also purchased the other side, which is for the windshield wiper blades or the windshield wipers and a washer and stuff like that. So I'm actually going to be repairing or replacing both of them, both the turn signal one and the windshield one, or the windshield wiper one, so that they both match basically. So anyway, it shouldn't be that difficult of a job, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Alright, so here's pretty much the gist of what we need to do. In order to get to the turn signal stalk here and the other one, we actually have to drop down the steering wheel column, and unfortunately it's not as easy as just lowering it and getting to it. We're going to actually have to undo a couple of bolts under there, lower this whole dash piece that's under here, and then we can take this top piece off here, lower the whole steering column, and then underneath there are actually two, I believe they're 1/2-inch bolts that we have to remove, and then this whole steering column will come down, give us some room to take the turn signal stalk and the windshield wiper stalk off as well. As you can see, that's a different, that's kind of a gray, where the other one's kind of black. So anyway, that's why I'm changing both of them. So basically they are, I believe, 7mm screws that we're going to be, or 7mm bolts that we're going to be undoing those, and underneath to drop all of that down, and then able to get underneath of this. So okay, let me go ahead and undo these bolts and drop the bottom of the dash down. It's actually under here. They actually have a couple of, it's hard to tell, just some basic clips that you pull out there, and then there's also one right there, and then there's the bolt that's on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop these little clips out right here. I know it's kind of hard for me to hold the camera at the same time. I know it's really bouncing around. I'm probably making you guys sick. Hold on one second. So I'm going to do it left-handed here. Come out of there. I think it's one of those little Christmas tree kind of deals. There we go. There it is. Kind of looks like that. And then we have another one right here. So let me go ahead and pull that out. And then I'm going to, just so I can do it without the camera, and then I'm going to undo this bolt right there. And then this should be able to go ahead and drop down. Okay, I got this one out here, got the bolt off over there, but I kind of lied to you. All that this did by releasing or removing that one is allow me to lower this to get to this bolt right here. So let me go ahead and unscrew this one, and I think that's the only ones I got to do to drop this down. If not, I will let you know. Okay, so this lower panel is nice and loose, and I would be able to drop it down, but before I do that, we also need to get to a couple of these bolts under the steering column here and drop this plastic piece off as well. So I'm going to go ahead, unfortunately I can't hold the camera while I do it, but I'm going to go ahead and undo these ones. This piece should be able to come off, and then I can drop it down so we can see that those two bolts underneath the steering column that we need to get to. Okay, so I got the bottom ones loosened, and now this top one looks like it might kind of snap off of there. There we go. Alright. So there we go. Actually comes in a couple of different pieces, you can see here. And then it snaps up on top. So I'm going to set these aside. And now we should be able to get to the two bolts that we have to get underneath. Let me go ahead and show you those. Alright, so looking under the steering column, you can see there's a bolt right in there. Right there. And then there's one on the other side as well. Right over there. So we need to go ahead and just get to those, disconnect those, and this whole steering column should drop down, because like I said, you can't get to this. You can't pull this out because it's kind of, oh, there we go. You can't pull this out because it's, this whole piece is in the way there. But first I'm going to go ahead and drop this whole bottom piece down of the dash so we can see those bolts even better and get to those. And let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so now be aware whenever you drop this bottom piece off that we do have some controls over here, which are the, I believe it's the dash light dimmer and the fog light switch. So just be aware, don't pull on it, otherwise you're probably going to pull these wires out of there. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of tilt it off to the side to get it out of the way, just like that. And now we can see the bolts under here. There's one right there, and then there's one, so if I can get to it, on the other side over here. I don't know if you can see it. I believe that's it right there. So we're gonna go ahead and just unscrew those bolts, and this column should drop down, which will allow us to get to the turn signal stock. So actually it's a 13 millimeter nut that's up there, and I guess you could, I got like a super extension going on here to try to loosen it. Hopefully you can see it, what I'm doing. Alright, so I got both of the nuts off of the bolts up there, and as you can see, I pretty much dropped this down pretty far. I can go ahead and get this piece out of here. Still got to kind of finagle it, it looks like. Alright, it did take a little bit of finagling, but it does come out of there. And now I've got plenty of access to the turn signal switch, and over here the windshield wiper stock switch, whatever you want to call it. So if we look on the new switch, we can see there's a couple of tabs here, right there, and on this side, this tab here. So we basically have to push those tabs in on the current one to release it, and then there's also a couple of plugs right here that we have to undo as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take those plugs off. Looks like you just kind of squeeze them in and pull out, and then go ahead and work on the tabs to pull the stock out. Okay, this one I might need to use two hands, so I'm basically going to disconnect this plug, and then if I can, I'll show you what I had to do that. Of course, now we have a guy out there mowing his lawn, but just to kind of show you, it's probably easier to show you how I got that plug out of there. on the new stock here. But basically, right, it's kind of hard to show you. Ugh, I'm trying to do this with one hand. Right there, here's my thumb. Right there, there's like a little tab thing. Let's see if we can go out in the light and show you. Oh, it's really hard to see. But anyway, right there's a little tab thing. I actually had to pull that up, and you'll see if you're actually working on it. I actually had to pull that up to get the plug out. So anyway, that plug's out. Both plugs are out. Now I just got to work on these two tabs on the one in the car to see if I can release those as well. That's right there's the one. Well, actually there's one, and then there's one on the bottom, so I'm gonna have to use again 2 hands to do this, but I think I can just do that and then do the bottom one, and it should pull right out. Okay, there it is. There's the old stock, and I'm just gonna go ahead and push the new one in and plug in the plugs, and that side should be done. Here it is. I didn't click it in yet. I'm gonna go ahead and push these plugs in first. That one's in. If I can kind of show you. Alright, both plugs are in. Turn signal is in. So, not until I start driving it am I going to see if it actually worked, but I'm sure it will. So now I'm just going to go ahead and disconnect this side. It looks like it has a plug as well. And I'm not sure exactly. I'll have to take a look to see how that plug comes out. But anyway, the same thing. Take this off, take the plugs out, push those little tabs, it should pull right out of there. Okay, this one is out. Alright, sorry about the guy cutting the grass, but anyway. Okay, so you basically have to do the same thing with the plug. There's a little tab thing right here. You kind of have to push that up. I use a real small screwdriver. Push that up to release the little tab that is on the plug. And then the plug comes right out. And then there's these little tab things here, there, and there that you got to just push in with a screwdriver again to release the whole piece. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the new one in there. And here it is. Let's see if I can show you. It just kind of slides there, but I'm going to go ahead and push the plug in. Or wait, let me see how that went again. Well, it kind of went sideways. Alright, so put that in there, and I'm going to just go ahead and, again, I might have to use 2 hands, so this kind of slides into there. If I can get it with my one hand here. Plus, it's a little dark. Let me see if I can get my light on there as well. Alright, not really hard to see. Here we go. Hopefully you guys can see this. Right here's the plug. My goodness. Bingo. That's in. This light is hot. And just push this in. And that's in there. So that's good to go too. So now all I gotta do is put the steering wheel back up, put the nuts back in, and buckle up the whole bottom part of the dash again, and this project should hopefully be done. Okay, everything is all buckled up and put back together. I got my new turn signal switch here, and my new wiper switch here, and like I said, everything's buckled back up again. I keep bumping the microphone, but I will give you one tip. When putting these pieces back together here, on the bottom of the steering column. There's actually 2 pieces on the bottom and 1 piece on the top. Obviously you put the top piece in first because that kind of gets up there whenever you screw those 2 nuts back into the bolts underneath. But anyway, I would suggest doing these 2 bottom pieces when you put them back. I actually kind of clipped them together, try to line it all up, and I couldn't find the holes to put the screws back in, and it just didn't line up right. So I ended up taking it back apart and then undoing them, keeping these 2 things separate, this one and this one over here, keeping them separate, and then I was able to line everything up and then put it back in. So but it's all in there nice and tight, and I am ready to go take a test drive to make sure everything works. Okay, let's give it a quick test here. I already started up, and turn signal is working. Wiper is working. Don't want to do the wash yet because I am actually sitting here with the top down. So anyway, let me take off for a quick run and make sure the steering wheel clicks it back into place. Okay, turn signal is on, and I'm turning, and the turn signal is off. So perfect. Go ahead and try it again. Boom, turn signal's back off again. So there you go. That's how you change out your turn signal stock if you have one that is not snapping back after you make your turn. And also I showed you how to change out your wiper blade stock, which is pretty much the same thing. So if you like this video, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell, that little notification bell that'll tell you anytime I come out with new videos. Smash that like button as well. And until I come out with the next video, this one is over.